Hey there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. Sorry to be a couple minutes late, but it is our Monday night Q&A, and every Monday night you have my attention for an hour or more on any questions that you have, saving money, couponing, really anything under the sun. So I always come with a topic as well, and for tonight, I thought a timely topic might be saving on spring break. I know college folks have already had their spring break in a lot of places, but for most of us, school age wise, spring break isn't for a few more weeks. So I thought vacations and spring break would be kind of a fun topic. But feel free to ask any questions off topic. Leave your questions in the comments or on the live chat if you're watching on the YouTube side of things, and I will see them and we will kind of jump right into it and get started. So hopefully we can keep us going all night long, and if we don't get to everything vacation, I'm fine with that too. I love that y'all's questions keep us all over the board on things, and I've had a lot of questions CVS wise, so if we want to even stay in drugstores, that is great for me. So to get us started, Ashley's already kind of chiming in. Do we have any tips on Disney savings? You don't live in Florida. That's the biggest one right there, Ashley. We should all just move because Florida residents get some amazing savings at Disney. I will confess I'm not a Disney expert. I grew up in Florida. I went all the time, but I haven't been back since I moved away. There are some great ways to save, though, Disney-wise, and honestly, the first thing that I would recommend is going through one of the Disney planners. It's a free service that Disney offers, and a lot of them are moms that do it as a part-time job, but they can give you some just amazing tips and help you to find the best packages. Personally, if I were heading to Disney, I would not probably stay on property, I would stay away from packages, but Disney crazy folks, I know that that's the big thing that they recommend and the big thing that they push. So my advice is probably opposite of the advice that you would get, but hopefully you could find some savings if that's where you were going to head. In general, for vacations, which is kind of where I see the most help for folks, is, let's go lodging first, I guess, which is kind of why my advice is to stay off property Disney-wise, is that lodging-wise, we can save a ton getting out of what's traditional. So for us, when we travel, if we are going to go hotel, then we typically go loyal and we try to stay only Marriott. Marriott has a ton of brands, so that could be anything from a Fairfield Inn, which is their lowest, to maybe using points and staying somewhere nicer. But that loyalty when you travel, if you're hotel loyal anyway, has some big rewards in the end. You not only get the perks of having achieved whatever the status level is, but you're going to earn points. They all have points-based systems in the hotel world, and those points then equate to free vacations later on. So for example, we are loyal. We only stay Marriott when we stay in a hotel. Because of that, we actually have platinum status at Marriott, which gives us kind of perks and freebies, but the big thing is that you earn points even faster. So the more you stay, the more points you're getting, but they also double your points or triple your points. You kind of get the point here. We throw in one other thing with this, and it is a big tip on saving on vacations, and that is getting a credit card that gets you that bonus as well, whatever your focus is. So for us and hotels and traveling, we have a Marriott credit card so that I earn more points even as we go along. Not only am I earning them because I'm staying tonight, but then I earn 5 times the points because I use the Marriott card to pay for something at Marriott. It just kind of keeps on going. Long story short, you've got 400,000 points after a couple of years. That's 4 weeks of just paid vacation in a Marriott Vacation Club, where your room is completely free if you look at it that way. So lots of perks to stay loyal, and then throwing in the credit card. Now, I'm never recommending getting a credit card and carrying debt. That doesn't do you any good whatsoever, but paying it off every month does. So if you don't care about the hotel side of things, you just want to fly places, getting the credit card with the air mileage points is going to be a really great perk for you in the end. You're going to earn those points, which then means free airline travel. You kind of get the idea. So throw that into your plan when it comes vacation-wise. You'll be surprised how quickly that can get you somewhere, just on the point side of things. Especially if you start to throw in, free companion tickets and whatnot. You could get a family of 4 somewhere and have paid maybe the annual fee for the card, if it had an annual fee, for the cost. That's it for 4 plane tickets. So I would add that in as well. Let's see, to kind of jump to some of y'all's questions, we'll come back to more things in a minute. Where would I get the best deal using the buy one get one M&M's coupon? So you're the second person to ask me that this week. That buy one get one M&M's coupon is not as fun as it looks. It is a buy a big bag and get a little bag for free. And because of that, it's not going to turn into making some amazing M&M deal. You're going to get a decent price on M&Ms, but then I'm going to, and I'm going to walk out the door with some little bags for free, but I'm not going to walk out the door with just a ton of M&Ms. Deal-wise, what I would recommend, Kelly, is if you head to the item search on Southern Savers and you type in Mars. It's not M&Ms, but it's the brand of M&Ms. That's typically when the candy is on sale. All Mars is on sale at the same time. So type Mars into the item search. And there are some deals at CVS this week giving extra care bucks back. That might be the route to go, using those. And we do have a $1 off 2 coupon for M&Ms right now as well. That might be a better value for you, rather than the buy one get one. But that's probably the only place is CVS. You buy $30 worth of M&Ms, you're going to get a $10 reward back, and they're on sale, buy one, get one half off. Or you can hold on to it for a little while longer. So what am I missing? I'm not getting many food coupons. So it's kind of the time of the year that we're in right now. We see a lot of cleaning supply coupons in the spring. Spring cleaning. They run with it, and they don't really let go of what they're holding on to on that plan. So tons of cleaning coupons. We saw some great McCormick Spice coupons that came out today. And then what I would recommend is that you use the database to search for specific things that you need. So we may not always find a ton on one particular site, but if you start to use the database, you're going to kind of be able to pick and choose exactly what you're looking for. And you'll be surprised how many are out there on the brand specific pages. So Campbell's may have some on Campbell's website that aren't necessarily going to show up on coupons.com and the main printable sites. When's the best time to get great deals for back to school supplies at Staples and Office Max? Maria, that one is July. All back to school deals start the first full week in July. You can just put it on your calendar now. That's when all the penny items and the free deals all start back. So if you've already run out of school supplies, you're going to have to wait a few more months. We won't really see any great deals until then. And Shelly, I agree. Should we even learn how to coupon at Rite Aid since they're going to be merging with Walgreens? Is it worth it, or should you just wait? So Shelly, yes, I would, because there are some good deals. You don't really want to miss out on all the deals that are out there while you're waiting for them to merge. But you don't have to go whole hog either. The one perk of going ahead and getting into Rite Aid is that the plenty points that you earn in Rite Aid, you can actually turn around and use at lots of places. So when they do eventually merge, you haven't lost anything. You can turn around and use those points at Exxon and Mobil and all of our Bilo and Winn-Dixie folks. I actually stuck it in here just so I would have it. But since we're talking about it, Bilo and Winn-Dixie folks, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that this is what was coming. I love it when I can call them right and not even and kind of guessing along in that. But Bilo and Winn-Dixie, this will be in your new ad that starts on Wednesday. So I'm technically showing you a preview, but don't worry. The whole front and back is just plenty points. I won't give away any secrets quite yet. But starting Wednesday, they're advertising it. This starts in stores April 5th. So we've got two weeks until they take over. But I can turn around and use these points that I earn in Buy Low for more groceries in Buy Low, but I could also use what I earned in Rite Aid for groceries in Buy Low. So it is well worth it. The other plus side, Shelly, for learning both is that once you fully understand CVS, you're completely ready to grab the deals in Rite Aid. You haven't, it's not hard to figure out both of them at all. So yes, I would. Let's see, and Rosalie's chiming in from Ohio with an idea on the M&M deal for you, that they're on sale 2 for $6 at Kroger, and you could use that with that deal as well if you wanted to. Let's see. So lots of folks even chiming in on the YouTube side. Hello to everyone. Folks from Texas and Arizona. I love it when we have folks that are from even outside the South. You guys make me feel even more special that you give me your night. Okay, and Roberta has a great question CVS-wise. CVS is now printing those coupons from the Red Coupon Center, and they say MFG or MFR on them. Are we able to stack other coupons along with these coupons that say MMFR? Yes, you are, Roberta. They are still store coupons. And to help with that, the Pantene one that's been printing, that's the 2 off 2 this week, or we got a Pantene one a few weeks ago that was $3 or $2 or $3 as well. Both of them printing from the Red Coupon Center. Both of those coupons clearly in the weekly ad are mentioned with using the coupon from the Sunday paper. So they may say MFR on them, but you are good to pair with them. They're even telling you to pair them together in the weekly ad. So don't panic. You're good to kind of keep on pairing those store and manufacturers together. Okay. Let's see. I think we're all caught up. So to kind of jump back in with saving on vacations, since we're going to go back and forth between vacations and just general questions wherever you guys take me. I mentioned being loyal hotel-wise, but you don't always want to be in hotels. And that is one where, like staying off property, Disney, anytime that we as a family are going to go away to one place for an extended period of time, I would always encourage you to look at doing a vacation rental by owner. And just the not only the joy of having more space, but the amount of money that can be saved by doing that. An example would be that we went to Washington, D.C. as a family about 2 years ago, and I've shared this on prior Q&As, but it's a very good savings for us. So we went to Washington, D.C. and stayed for a little short of a week with all of our kiddos, paid about $200 a night for the house, which sounds on the extreme side until you try to find a hotel room in Washington, D.C. You can't. There is not a hotel room for $200 a night in Washington, D.C. that you are going to want to stay at. Maybe I should emphasize that. But with paying $200 a night for the house, we're getting multiple bedrooms for numerous children, but we're also getting a washer and a dryer and a kitchen. And that's the big savings that folks forget about, because I now no longer have to eat out for all of my meals. So in terms of planning that vacation, planning how you're going to eat and how you're going to save on your dining needs to be factored into where you're staying. Because if I chose to stay in a hotel for 4 nights, I don't have the option to cook dinner, to have possibly could have breakfast, I guess, downstairs in the lobby, depending on the hotel you're staying in. But you get where I'm going here. So we packed a lunch. We took lunch with us everywhere we went and ate it in beautiful places around Washington, D.C., but I could not have done that in a hotel. So vrbo.com is vacation rentals by owner. You're going to find a ton of places that are there. And a big tip with those is to look for ones that are not managed by rental companies. There are tons of rental companies nowadays that put all of their rental properties on VRBO. To me, that is against the point. This should be vacation rentals by owner. but it's not really. So you have to look for them. Look for ones that are not managed by rental agencies, but are managed by the actual owners. And usually you can send them a message and see would they be willing to give a discount if you're going to book in this little tiny window where they haven't filled it or you're booking last minute. You'll be surprised how they are much more willing to have their house rented and be making something versus having it empty with no income. So look for those, again, that are owned and managed by the owner versus by a management property, because management property doesn't always have the ability or the desire to necessarily get every single property full. Okay, to jump back into questions, Anastasia is saying, we've stayed off property and it was fine. Make sure the hotel has transportation to the parks, or otherwise you'd have to deal with parking. So she's at least she's not negating my advice to you, even if I haven't been to Disney in a while. So and other folks are chiming in for you too. Let's see. Are there any good man razor deals this week? I like that way of wording it, Teresa. You know, I don't know off the top of my head that there were any that were amazing. We have seen some that were the Gillette Venus, which would be women's razors. We've got, it's kind of the same deal again that's running at CVS, the buy the razor and the cartridges and get the reward, except this is probably the best you're going to get. So CVS on the Schick Hydro, that's the route I would go. Buying the Schick Hydro, it's full price, but if you buy 2 of them, you get a $10 reward back. And then we have $2 printable coupons. So buy 2 of them, use $2 off coupons, and the $10 reward. And it's going to make those razors about $4 a piece. It's not as cheap as the 99 cents or the $1.99 that we normally see, but if you have to have it right now, $3.99 is not bad. Kroger also has some very good prices on disposables if you wanted to go the disposable route to get you through until we saw a really good deal on the Fusions or other brands. So Crystal asks, when shopping at CVS, how do you determine how many transactions you'll have so that you don't have to spend a lot of your own money? So Crystal, this is what I necessarily do. I will look at how many extra care bucks I have from last week. So if I have a $10 extra care buck because that's the last deal that I did, then I want to look at all the deals that I plan to get this week and grab the items that are going to come out to equal $10 or close to it after coupons. So I want them to basically say your total due is $10 and be able to hand them $10 in extra care bucks. If I can get as close to that or right at it, perfect. Then what extra care bucks am I going to get back from that transaction? Am I going to get back 8 extra care bucks, or maybe I'm going to make some money on toothpaste this week? So I get back 12 extra care bucks from that deal. Then I'm going to look for what left in my buggy with coupons equals $12 and put all of that in another corner of the buggy. So use the corners. A buggy has 4 corners, and your goal should be to try to get those transactions into 4. Don't do any more than 4. If you do go more than 4, it gets really chaotic. You get flustered. You kind of forget the plan, and they're ready for you to stop being in front of them. So 4 or less is perfect. But that's the goal, is looking at how many extra care bucks you have and what is going to equal those extra care bucks the best way that you can. So for folks that are brand new, I tried to walk people through this earlier today. I did a quick little, popped on and went over some quick great coupons that we had that I didn't want you to miss. So there's a deal for toothpaste at CVS this week. And I would want you, if you're brand new, that you would go in, you would grab 1 tube of toothpaste and use 1 printable coupon and then get back a reward, which is the amount that you will have just paid, and then put another tube of toothpaste on the counter and use another $1 off coupon, pay with the reward you just got, so you'd pay nothing on the second tube and go home. So that's a very small view of that. So 2 tubes of toothpaste, but you're splitting them up. I'm not putting them on the counter at the same time. By splitting them up, the first one I'm going to pay $1.99 after the coupon. The second one I'm going to pay nothing. If I put them on the counter at the same time and I used my 2 $1 off coupons, my total due is $4, and I will leave with a $4 extra care buck, but I just spent $4 real dollars to buy that versus $2 to buy that. So that's why we want to break them up, because then we spend less out of pocket, which I think you already knew, Crystal, kind of just explaining that to anyone else. Like, why in the world would I want to do that? Because if I went in and I wanted to buy all the things that were on sale today, that's going to be like $70 at CVS. But if I split them into multiple transactions, then I'm going to grab, maybe $20 after all of the coupons and extra care bucks by buying them in multiple transactions. And not everything's going to be free. Just to clarify that, not everything is going to be coming out to equal absolutely nothing. There are going to be deals, like really great paper deals, that you're still going to have to pay $2 or $2.50 for the pack of paper towels, or the diaper deals where we still pay $4.50 for a pack of diapers. So there are going to be moments that I owe money in CVS, but I'm definitely going to owe a lot less money for those items than I normally would. So Shanna says, I still haven't found the same Colgate coupons. I have some, just not the same ones. So Shanna, those coupons from the paper were not in all areas. So the bigger the city that you're in, obviously the more coupons are in that city's paper. So if you did not get the $2 coupons from the paper a couple of weeks ago, there are some that you can print. So that mouthwash coupon, I'm having my husband bring me all my props. I left them in the kitchen. That mouthwash coupon that I mentioned earlier today, there's a $2 off printable here. And that was in the paper as well, but that one you can print. So this particular deal you are good to go on, and this is free at Walgreens this week with that $2 off coupon. So you kind of want it. And then the toothpaste, this is our freebie at CVS. If you grab this toothpaste, and we have a $1 off printable here. Now, if you had the Sunday paper $2 coupon, that's going to make this be a moneymaker. But if you don't have it, like Shanna's saying it wasn't in her area, the $1 off still makes it free. So if that's all you did was grab the $1 off, you still have 2 tubes of completely free toothpaste this week. Do you recommend timeshare presentations as a savings deal for a vacation, provided you're a person who can say no? So yes, Heidi, I do. If you can say no, and there is a limit on some of those as to how often you can do them, so don't break the rules there. But if you are very good and your husband is very good, because they're going to require that you both be there, hands down, you're not going to say yes. It can be a great savings. We did this, I don't even think we had kids back then, but my husband and I went to Charleston for the entire weekend, plus got a free carriage ride, plus got $50 in vouchers for food, all to listen to a 90-minute presentation. Yes, I will listen to that presentation. And some of them even offer free childcare for your kids to be entertained while you listen to the 90-minute presentation, because they want you there so badly. So if they're willing to throw in, everything in the kitchen sink, I 100% would say that it's a great deal. Some of them don't throw in everything. So act a little hesitant. See what else can be added to the pot before you jump into the plan, because usually they do have some other things that they use to kind of help those people who can't quite decide over the threshold. But I would. What if the CVS Coupon Center doesn't print coupons? I was expecting to receive a coupon that the website said would print, and the machine did not print 2 coupons for Cottonelle or Viva. So Ellen, the coupons that come from the Coupon Center change for everybody except for the ones that are clearly mentioned in the weekly ad. So this week in the weekly ad is $2 off of 2 Pantene hair care. That's the only one exclusively mentioned in the ad for every single person. All the rest of them that I match in on the CVS deals, I actually go through my account and 3 other people's CVS account to get a blend of what everybody is getting. And Of all of those coupons, I would say maybe a third of them we all have, but 2/3 of them are very different across every single account. So the best way for you to know what's going to come into your CVS, like when you walk in and you print, is if you go to cvs.com and you log in. And when you log in on CVS's website, you will see all of the current offers that are set to print for your card. And then you're never in the dark as to what is or isn't going to come when you get to the store. And Cindy, yes, we are losing fuel points with Buy Low. So Fuel Perks, which is a separate company, Fuel Perks is ending. The company itself is just kind of going out of business. So Buy Low is switching to be part of Plenty. You'll get a new Buy Low card, but you don't actually have to get a new Buy Low card, by the way. You can just use your Plenty card. So when it's time to upgrade, and it'll even say upgrade now, you can just give them your current Plenty number and they'll link your Buy Low card to it. So now you have one card for Buy Low and Rite Aid, which is pretty awesome. But we're going to switch to that program versus what we currently have. And I think you're going to find that it is about the same. The big perk being that I can now use these on groceries. I don't have to use them on gas. The gas is great, but to turn around and be able to use them right on groceries is pretty awesome too. Rosalie is mentioning for the person who wanted razors this week that Dollar General also has a great deal. Bic razors are on sale. It wasn't advertised, and we've got $3 off coupons for Bic razors that makes them come out to be about 15 cents a piece. So that is a very good price. And Rosalie, is that for the disposables or just for the main Bics? So you can chime in on the comments and I'll share that one too. Okay, to jump back in, yes, we're good. Oh, off topic, one more question. What printer do I recommend? So Stacy, for me, my favorite printer is a Brother, and I'll stick this in the chat for you on YouTube side too, but it's a Brother laser printer, and Brother HL 2340 or the 2370 model. They're both wireless. I would recommend going wireless. 3 years ago, I would have said don't worry about it. But Brother is now AirPrint compatible, meaning that you can print from an iPad or an iPhone. And so that gives you more printable coupons because you can print from multiple devices. So going for that Brother wireless printer is definitely the way to go. The reason for that is that laser toner is exponentially cheaper over inkjets. The cost to replace that toner cartridge is like 10 bucks, getting an off-brand toner cartridge from Amazon. So that is why I've kind of pushed everyone in that direction. And Rosalie chimed in for the Bic deal. It is disposables. So it's the 12 count disposables at Buy Low that come out to about 15 cents after the coupon. And that's a great deal. Thanks for sharing it. Tina asks, how do I save money on Cokes? So we do see soda deals. And Tina, if you were to use the item search, you want to search for Coca-Cola, the full name. And usually for me, if I can get a Coca-Cola 12 packs around the $2.25, max is $2.50 mark, we're good. We'll see them even lower when they're on sale in the drugstores, but they tend to only be really, really great deals in the drugstores around the Super Bowl. So not as fun when we're past the Super Bowl. With the Coca-Cola deals, you're going to want to stock up because usually the best deals are like a buy two, get two free. And in all grocery stores, you have to buy all four. It doesn't even matter if your store normally, on a buy one, get one deal, you normally don't have to buy both of them. On a soda deal, you always have to buy both of them. So just be aware of that one. Looking for great deals this week, there's really not that much. So I might hold off. I'm not sure what you have in your area, but again, just use the item search and search for Coca-Cola. Target has them on sale for $2.50 a 12-pack, and they probably have the best price that's out there. Everyone else has the 2 liters on sale this week. Food Lion has them for $2.75, so Target wins at just the $2.50 price. That would probably be where I would head to. Yes, and CVS, Aaron, I know they had Pepsi last week. I didn't check to see what was in the CVS ad this week for it. But that could be the route. So last week it was buy $30 worth of Pepsi and you got a $10 reward. I'm trying to pull up the ad really quick to see what was on CVS, but that could be the route if you saw it there too. Let's see. My coupon scanner says that I've already got my coupons from the scanner, and yes, I would call CVS corporate and just see, Lisa, maybe you've got someone who's not being nice and trying to use your card. It could also be that either the scanner was down or the possibility that just some accounts don't have a lot of coupons in them. But if you head to, that's another one where I would head to CVS's website and see what's loaded for your card, because it'll actually show printed next to it if they have already printed. And sometimes online, if they have printed, there's the option to print again. So see if you can do that from cvs.com, log in and look at all of your coupons and then click that print again from home option if you miss them in the store. So the Winn-Dixie rewards cards are changing the exact same way. They're going to be switching all the numbers. So the numbers will change to plenty numbers, and you will just do this in the store or here. They've set up a website for it, so I'm going to guess that it's probably the same exact address for Winn-Dixie, which is winndixie.com/plenty. Not sure if this website is live yet since this is in the upcoming ad, but let's see. Since we've made it live for them, they should be ready for us here. I'll try to load it really quick and tell you. But you will upgrade there. They will mail you a new card, or you can do it in the store. But if you already have a Rite Aid card, then you wouldn't really need that. You can just use the plenty number that you already have on your Rite Aid card. And you want a Southern Savers t-shirt. We actually have some. Maybe we should just do another. We did a big Facebook t-shirt giveaway a while ago. We can stick another one up there. So back to vacations. Thanks, Amy, for kind of circling us back around. Amy asks, are vacation deals on Groupon any good? Honestly, I don't know how amazing they are. They love to make them look amazing, but most of the deals that are on Groupon you can usually get by calling the location and just asking for that same deal or same discount. They're not like wowing, amazing prices. Even the Great Wolf Lodge ones, it's like 10 to 20% off depending on the deal that they run. But Great Wolf Lodge runs that price on a pretty regular basis just directly from their site too. So it's up to catching it, and Groupon is just trying to advertise it harder, so you tend to see it more than if you were watching the site. The other problem with Groupon is that sometimes you end up going places that you had never really thought to go before, but you're going because you found the deal. So just do some thinking before you end up in a spot that once you got there, you realize you don't want to be there at all. Hotel-wise, I don't think that it's the best deal. I think you're going to get a much better deal using Priceline, using Hotwire, and possibly Hotel directly. Some of the hotels do give you price guarantees that if you find it somewhere cheaper, they will always honor the cheaper price plus give you an additional discount. So I don't know that I would ever go Groupon just for the hotel. That's not what they specialize in. To kind of bring that back as a different example, walking into the grocery store this past week at Bilo, and they have fruit trees outside, and my girls were so excited. Bilo's selling fruit trees. My kids would plant anything if you let them. Like, you finish eating fruit and they're ready to take all the seeds from your fruit and stick it in the yard. So Bilo has fruit trees. They're ready to buy them immediately. And we had a small discussion on like, maybe you should stick with what people are good at. Bilo sells fruit trees for 2 weeks out of the whole year. I don't know that these are going to be the best fruit trees in the world, nor do I really think that these are the best deal on fruit trees that are out there, just because they have them in front of the store. So that's one where Groupon's not into hotels. They do the vacation packages, but don't go just for hotels for that one. And how do we know we'll be getting the best deal when we're going in the summer? So if we're looking at summer vacations and we're going further out, to get the best deal on those, I would actually recommend that you do some of your booking now. I don't want to go and be booking vacations in the peak of vacation season. You're not going to get as great of a price unless you're okay with booking crazy last minute. That's where some of the big discounts are going to be during the summer. So a lot of the big normal savings are because you booked in the spring and you were ready way ahead for the summer. But then last minute, and I mean like, oh, it's Wednesday and we can head to the beach on Saturday. Going super last minute, you are going to get some really great deals, even from those vacation management companies who want to try to fill that week. And we're talking like 40%, 50% off of what the rental price would have been because they just want somebody in it versus the week being empty. So those are your two options if you're looking at like the summer week at the beach or something like that, and we are going to go through that rental agency. Book now or book very last minute. Booking now also is going to give you a little bit more flexibility as to what the houses are, and honestly, some of these guys have been booked months in advance, so you may even already be kind of limited with what's available. Have we taken freezer meals? Yes, Tanya, that's a huge way to save on vacation. So just to go dining in general, I already mentioned that I would highly recommend going somewhere with a kitchen just so that you don't have to eat out for every meal. But taking meals with you is a massive way to save. This past weekend, I did a workshop in Conway, South Carolina, and Mullins, which are within an hour of Myrtle Beach. And so we went to Myrtle Beach and we used our Marriott points and we kind of enjoyed 2 days at the beach and swam in the indoor pool because the beach was crazy cold. But in doing that, took with us an ice chest and lunch was made and everything for breakfast, things to make tacos. So go, think of your meals that are super easy to make. We don't want vacation to be stressful. So freezer meals is a huge way to take away a lot of that stress. But if you aren't a freezer meal cooker, then think simple. So tacos, spaghetti, hamburger helper if we need to. Just anything to take away the stress, but that are simple. I need to bring some hamburger and I need to bring the box of hamburger helper. I don't need to bring all my spices and all my ingredients. But that is a massive way to save. So for us, it is always planning. Most meals, dinner-wise, are out, bringing everything for breakfast and everything for lunch. With the plan, if we were going to be gone for a whole week, to maybe eat out once to enjoy just local seafood or whatever, and then to possibly go out for ice cream or just a fun treat. But that is the goal in the end, that's the only time we left the house was for those 2 treats over everything else. And yes, so just the space on doing a rental, not only the kitchen, is a huge happiness saver, a sanity saver as well. Diana's saying, any tips on Vegas deals? Just like Disney, Diana, I've actually never been to Vegas. So I bet that somebody else can chime in and give you specifics on Vegas. But for that one, in general, no matter where we want to go, the first thing that I would recommend is you find out when the peak season is for where you want to go, and you don't go then. So if we've got massive conventions or anything like that going on, it's not going to be the best time to be there. And it's pretty easy to find out. Just Googling off-peak season in Vegas, and you're going to find just some dates to try to stay within to get some really good discounts. But usually going off-peak, especially in areas like that, and Disney for that matter, means not only a hotel savings, but it usually also means a savings on any shows or anything else that you're wanting to do, because they still want people in those seats as well. So just massive push to off-season if you can do it. Not to mention flights. Every part of that vacation is going to be cheaper because you're doing it in the off-season versus doing it in the peak of when everybody would want to be there. Okay, what are the best deals on body wash, not Irish Spring? And that's a funny one. In terms of body wash, we see a ton of them. So you can definitely get whatever brand you're wanting. It just may not be this week. Irish Spring, we did get some new coupons for this week, so the stores tend to know what the coupons are coming in Sunday's paper, and they try to always line up the deals to go with those Sunday paper coupons. So we did see a lot of Irish Spring this week because of it, and in case anyone does want to know, CVS would be where I would go there. If you don't care CVS or Irish Spring wise, if you're cool with Zest or Coast, I don't know, they're probably in the same realm with Irish Spring, but Zest and Coast, if you have a Bilo or a Winn-Dixie nearby, are crazy cheap at like 29 cents for Bilo or 79 cents for Winn-Dixie. So that could be an option. We've got other good deals in lots of other stores. Again, I would point you to the item search on Southern Savers and just typing in the words body wash to see what comes up for every brand. Aveeno, we've got new printable coupons for Aveeno out that are making good deals at a few places. And Dove, that probably best price for Dove right now would be at Rite Aid. You buy $12 worth of Dove bar soap or body wash, and you're going to get $4 back in rewards. And plus, they're on sale just a tiny little bit. Some expensive body wash, but we have $1.50 off coupons that expire. Well, actually, they did expire this weekend. So maybe not heading to Rite Aid since the coupons have expired. But that would be the route. So it's going to be drugstores usually, hands down, all the time. But Bilo and Winn-Dixie win for the Coast and Zest right now. So could I give a best example for Walgreens when using points and rewards? Is it best to separate a large transaction? Okay, Maria, you're asking to kind of go crazy because the issues with Walgreens, it can be very, very quirky. So to kind of stick with me on this. So let's say this is a Walgreens deal this week. Let's kind of make one up. So if I go into Walgreens and I want to buy this deal, this is $3.99 this week. This is a real deal. $3.99, and I use a $2 off printable coupon that is available and in the Walgreens list underneath it. So I'm going to pay $1.99, and then I'm going to get back a $2 register reward. I cannot use that register reward to buy another one. Walgreens is very quirky. This is a limit of one. That is all you're allowed to get here, so don't get any more. But I can use that $2 register reward to buy another deal in the store. What I would usually recommend is that you turn around and you use this reward to buy something else in the store that is either printing the balancer reward points or is just a great deal in general. So all makeup is buy two, get one free, as someone mentioned on the little live video that I did earlier today. So I could use that $2 register reward to help pay for these items if I wanted to. I've got manufacturer's coupons for them too. But in general, for Walgreens, I would recommend you go in and you split your cart into two. I buy all of my register rewards, whatever they may be, and I earn all those pieces of paper. And then I use those register rewards to buy all of the items that give me balance rewards or the other rewards program that they have. These balance reward deals, and these are pretend by the way, but these balance reward deals, I can save those points up to 6 months. They're not going to expire. So I don't have to be back in right away. But when I do come back in, I'm going to use the points that I earned here to buy more register reward deals, use those register rewards to buy more balance rewards. So just constantly switching back and forth between the two programs is much happier. Register rewards are not usually happy when you pay with register rewards, and balance rewards are not happy when you pay with balance rewards. So those would be the things that I would look for. Let's see. Chiming in. So with Groupon, should we wait for the % off local deal? Yes, and that is one someone was mentioning. Our Groupon deal is worth it. So if you are going to get a vacation deal from Groupon or Living Social, they always run at least once every 2 weeks, like a 15% or a 20% off of any local deal. Now that coupon code always has a max value of usually $50, but it is still going to save you $50 off of a very big vacation if that's what you were grabbing. So always wait for that % off deal to pair with whatever the local option was that they were running. Thank you for chiming in on that, Nicole. Would I recommend Disney cruises? Yes, I think they're going to be just as great as any other cruise line, but you're going to pay a lot more money for where you're going. So a cruise is really all about the travel to your destination. That's what you're paying for, not necessarily where your destination is. So the cruise line itself has rave reviews. Disney cruises have in terms of supply and demand is very high and supply is actually very low. There are only, I think, 4 ships in the whole fleet. So it's very expensive to go on a Disney cruise over another brand. So if you're wanting to go on a cruise, I don't know that I would pick Disney over the other brands. If you're wanting a Disney experience, then great, pick it. To save on a Disney cruise, I would highly recommend that you look at last minute deals because they still have them. They'll still have a cabin that didn't sell or that someone has actually returned to the mix and lost money on to do that, by the way, but they still want it to be full. They will resell it to you. So watching for last minute cruise deals, there are a number of sites that do this. Trying to remember the URL, so I'm testing it before I give it to you. Yep, that wasn't it. Let's see. So one site that I have used a fair amount is cruisedirect.com. Cruise Direct, no hyphen in that, just the 2 words put together, and I'll stick that into the chat for you guys on YouTube side. But cruisedirect.com, they have a whole section just for last minute cruises. And it's really like an orbits of cruises. They're not one particular company. They work with a lot of them. But if you're cool with last minute cruises, just to give you an idea, if you were cool with leaving tomorrow out of Vancouver, you could take a cruise out of Vancouver. It's a 1-night cruise, but it's going to cost you $59. So there you go. I don't live in Vancouver, nor do I want to take a 1-night cruise, but $59 for that isn't bad at all. Even for longer cruises, you're going to find them just really, really cheap for even suites and balconies if that's what you're looking for. So there aren't always a ton of Disney ones there, but you will find some. And when you do, you just jump on them. What would I recommend for a cruise or which one? So Ellen, the cheaper ones tend to be Norwegian. It's much more family-based, supposedly, but they tend to be the cheapest fare-wise that you'll find, followed by Carnival right behind that. Princess and Holland America tend to be on the more expensive line, and it's really who they're catering to. So Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean tend to be the ones catering to younger folks. And the younger we are, the least amount of money we have. So those are going to be the least expensive. But even on the last minute fares, you're still going to find pretty good prices for a number of them. Let's see, to kind of get us out of these random 1 to 2 nights. Just looking last minute cruises on Cruise Direct right now and switching to a 7-night. Again, you're going to have to figure out how to get to the port where it's leaving. But if we wanted to go on, I didn't even know they did these, but if you wanted to go to Alaska, this is starting in May. Let's see, that's actually not that great. We want a cruise that leaves like tomorrow, which it doesn't appear that most of them do in March. Not a lot of people are cruising in March, but we can do some carnivals that are heading to the Caribbean, even starting in April for as little as like $349 if you went on a Caribbean cruise. So it's all in that brand, but Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean would be the cheaper 3, and they're still great. Why are they so little ships? So Disney is really just entering the cruise side of things. They've been around for a while, but there aren't a ton of them. And I don't know that they care to have a ton. Yes, they have 4, the Magic, the Dream, the Fantasy, and the Wonder, and that's it. And then you look at Holland America and some of those lines that have, 20 plus ships. Supply and demand, Disney can keep those costs a lot higher when they only have 4. And the rooms are all full. So it kind of helps them out too. will I be back in Myrtle Beach or Conway area again? So Marla, it's all about when we can find a location and set one up. I'm always cool with coming back anywhere, but right now I don't have anything on the books for coming back to the Myrtle Beach area, but I will gladly come back to the beach if you have any ideas of where we could hold it. So I think I saw your email and I can respond to you. If you're not the person who emailed me, then email me at jenny@southernsavers.com and we can start to try to work on that. Sarah, I have been on a cruise. I have done Holland America and Royal Caribbean and loved both of them. Royal Caribbean was a senior year out of high school. Very different experience from Holland America. And it, again, depends on where you're going and your price point. Holland America is an older cruise line. My first cruise there was with my grandfather, so you kind of get the idea. But went back, enjoyed it, and went back without my grandfather and had a great time. I would more look at where is it that you want to go and how can I get there the cheapest way possible and still enjoy it, because they are all great ships and they all pretty much have the same amenities on them. Let's see. And Irene says any cruise line except Carnival leaving Miami. Yeah, there are definitely going to be some ships that you may or may not want to stay on. For that could definitely be the case. Let's see. Let me jump through a few more just basic savings on vacation wise. So we mentioned staying in rentals, staying loyal if you do go hotels, planning your meals, which is a huge one. Another one, though, if you do plan to eat out, and so we talked Groupon and Living Social, but if you do plan on eating out, I would recommend that you look at that in advance. So can I find a restaurant.com voucher? They offer them at smaller places, or can I grab some coupons for a place, or just be on the hunt for whatever your plan is if you are going to eat out for that meal, so that we can even save there, or your activities. So if I'm heading to the beach, is there a Groupon for a kayak tour or something that you wanted to do? So try anything that you're doing in that, trying to save on whatever those activities are. But the best way to do that is thinking in advance. So it's not that I'm going to wake up that morning and decide that I want to take a tour. It's that I thought about this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and I started hunting for it now. We go to the beach every year in the summer. So our one that we grabbed was a Groupon deal last year that took us on a shelling adventure to a deserted island. No one's ever lived there. That's outside of Charleston. So the boat picks you up right downtown and then takes you out. You get to walk along the beaches and look for shells for a couple hours and go back. But booking that and getting the Groupon for that a couple of months in advance made that cost almost half of what it would have been if we had just paid out of pocket, and we wouldn't have paid out of pocket to take our kids on that little adventure. But it was very fun. It was an island that had previously had a fort on it. That's the only people that had ever lived there during the, I think, Revolutionary War or Civil War, and you can still find pieces of brick from the fort and cannon pieces, but lots of shells and starfish and whatnot that we can't normally find on the normal beach since it's very well picked over. Let's see. I live on the Mississippi coast, so I don't always have to fly a long ways to catch a cruise. It would have to be close. So Ellen, if you're already right there, I would completely be on the lookout for those last minute deals. You're going to find some really great ones, even that are leaving right from your general area. And Janet, workshops, I charge $10 a person for workshops, and that just covers our travel and whatnot as we get there, and printing for all the workbooks that folks get. Okay. Let's see, I think we've hit most everything. I picked a topic that didn't have to have a ton of tips so that you guys could keep me busy with everything else. Let's go one last time, though, really quick. I did mention this morning, but one I don't want you to miss is the coupon for these guys that came out today. It's probably not going to last but maybe a couple days. We don't see spice coupons very often, so McCormick spice coupons came out today, 3 of them. one for $1, one for $2.25 off of 2, and one for $3.50 off of 3. It makes grinders at Walmart free. They're regularly $1 and $1 off coupon. You're gonna get pepper and salt for free. And then it makes the little containers starting at like 50 cents, depending on what store you head to and the regular price. Keep in mind, some spices always cost more than others, but pepper, cinnamon, paprika, some of those, they're the cheaper options to grab with those coupons. And we don't see spice coupons often, so grab them while you can. The coupons are good for a month, but they won't be around for a month. Just to kind of like end on a note there for making sure you get it while you can. Let's see. Any cruise lines offer cruises for single and senior citizens from the East Coast? I'm sick of having to pay a double room rate for one person. There are a lot of senior singles that would cruise more often if they didn't. So Val, a lot of times if you wait, you will find deals that are kind of like a 2-for-1 or a single option, or they'll only charge $50 more for the room versus that whole second person. That does tend to be closer to sailing time, so waiting for those last minute deals. Cruise Direct, which is the site that I mentioned earlier, also will have a great way to look at all the other offers that they're currently running, like the free beverages or the just all the general prices. Like right now, just looking on their site very quickly on the homepage is 2-for-1 rates on MSC cruises. They're, I guess, a smaller line, not a ship I've heard of before, but you will find those from time to time. So when you see them kind of jumping in on them, they're usually for the cruises that are going to be very soon versus cruises that are further out. And thanks, Dana, for sticking in that URL. And there are other sites that do this, but this is just an easy one to use. Let's see. Jana, I don't know that I have anything in Greenville. I'm usually in the library up there on a regular basis, but I don't think I have anything on the schedule right now. I'm completely cool with setting up anything though. So if anyone wants to get a workshop in their area, just email me and we can start to set it up. There's no cost for me to come. I just charge per person to the folks that come to help pay for the travel up there. So if we can have it in a church or somewhere like that, nobody has to pay for me to speak. Just open the doors and let us come in, and it usually always works out. Oh, and Erin, thanks for the birthdays. It's actually not belated. I shared last week. My birthday's tomorrow, but thanks for the happy birthday. Tanya, the McCormick coupons are on coupons.com. And if you actually head to the Southern Savers Facebook page after we finish this, it's one of the top posts on the Facebook page. So you can get directly to those coupons if you want to. And Terry's mentioning another one, Vacations to Go has a good last minute cruise specials as well. And really most of these sites all have the same ones. So it's just kind of learning where it is that makes you happy in a site that's happy or easy for you to use. So that is Terry's chime in as well. I use Cruise Direct for cruises, but Vacations to Go is going to be more than just cruises as well. They're going to have other ways for you to save. Sites for renting houses is Shanna's option. So vrbo.com is the main site that I would recommend for renting houses. There's others, but they actually are all owned by the same company. So HomeAway and whatnot that you may end up on, all exactly the same houses that you're going to find there. So vrbo.com is the best place to start. Oh, and thank you guys. Everybody's chiming in with happy birthdays. That's the best part of Facebook birthdays. Now you get them live. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on everybody's questions as well. So we'll go ahead and call it for tonight. And we will be back next Monday night. Same time, same place. I don't have a topic yet, so if there's anything that you guys want to cover, someone asked me for an advanced couponing workshop, and I told them it was really hard for me to do that locally, but that we could try to cover it on a Q&A. It's tricky with everyone's questions that come in, but we can go there at some point or anywhere that you guys want to. So always email me any topics that you want to cover in between the questions. It's always good to have that while questions are coming in. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for joining me tonight.